Andrew, may I start? Great, thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to our Erev Shabbat service. And I'm going to start with a meditation on page 99. On the seventh day, God finished the work of creation. The rabbis asked, what was the work that God did on the seventh day? They taught that God created menucha, rest. We turn to you, creator of work and of rest. We seek to create Shabbat rest in our lives that is more than just an end to the working week. Let us dedicate a day to you alone, setting aside our busyness and our ambitions, our anxieties and our control. May the rituals we take upon ourselves this day give our Shabbat form. May the Torah we study today give our Shabbat meaning. May the companionship we experience today give our Shabbat joy. Support us in all we do to create our Shabbat rest. For these few precious hours, may we experience ourselves once again as creatures in the presence of our Creator. May we celebrate the flow of life about us and within us. May we discover the rhythm of Shabbat and find the joy that comes from your presence in our lives. And can I invite you, please, to light the Shabbat candles, and can I invite you to stand? Amen. Please sit down. On page 100, we're going to sing Ma Tovu, which opens most of our services. And the transliteration is at the bottom of the page. Maybe you can show him where it is. There. Ma Tovu Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael. And again, Ma Tovu Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael. ואני ברוב הסתך אבוא ביתך, אשתחווה אל היכל קודשך ביראתך. אדוני אהבתי מעון ביתך, ומקום משכן כבודך. ואני אשתחווה ואכרעה אברך לפני אדוני עושי. ואני תפילתי לך, אדוני, את רצון. אלוהים ברוב חסדך, ענני באמת אישך. And we're going to continue on the next page with a song to welcome Shabbat. Yom Zeh LeYisrael on page 102. Yom Zeh LeYisrael, Ora v'simcha, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat menucha. Yom Zeh LeYisrael, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat, Shabbat, Menucha, Menucha, Shabbat, Shabbat, Menucha. Tzivita pikudim b'ma'at Sinai, Shabbat u'moadim l'shmo b'choshanai, la'achroch lefanai, ma'aset va'arucha, Shabbat, Shabbat, Menucha, Menucha, Shabbat, Shabbat, Menucha. Chorus again. Yom Zeh LeYisrael, Ora v'simcha, Ora v'simcha, Shabbat, Menucha. Yom Zeh LeYisrael, Ora v'simcha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Manucha, Manucha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Manucha. Chemdat albavat la'uma shavura. Linfashot nechavot neshama yetera. Lenefesh metzera. Yasiya anacha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Manucha, Manucha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Manucha. Chorus. Yom Zel Israel, Ora v'simcha. Ora v'simcha. Shabbat, Manucha. Yom Zel Israel, Ora v'simcha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Manucha, Manucha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Manucha. Kidashta berachta oto mikol yamim. Basheshet kelita melechet olamim. Bo matzu agumim chashke tuvetcha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Manucha, Manucha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Manucha. Yom Zel Israel, Ora v'simcha. Ora v'simcha. Shabbat, Manucha. Yom Zel Israel, Ora v'simcha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Manucha, Manucha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Manucha. And we turn to another song to welcome Shabbat, and that is on page 104. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nila Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzechem LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we're going to move on to page 121. For Lacha, just checking we're not missing any out. And there are psalms now to welcome Shabbat, and the one that we're going to sing is Lacha Dodi. And when we come to the last verse, we're going to welcome the Shabbat bride. I'm not sure who that is, but they're just in time, aren't they? Otherwise, it's funny when late people come in just as we're bowing. So we're on page 121. Lecha dodi likat kala, pnei Shabbat nehekabala. Lecha dodi likat kala, pnei Shabbat nehekabala. Shamo v'zacho b'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad. U'shamo echad l'Shem u'tiferet lehitila. Lecha dodi likat kala, pnei Shabbat nehekabala. Likhat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki himako habaracha, merosh mikedem nasucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshvat tehila. Lecha dodi likhat kala, pnei Shabbat nehekabala. Next page. Hitorari, hitorari, kiva orech kumi ori uri uri shir daberi kvod Adonai alaich nikla lechadodi lehikrat kala pernei Shabbat nehe Kabbalah. Please stand and face the door to welcome the Shabbat bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha uvotzola toch emune am sagula boi chala lechadodi lehikrat kala pernei Shabbat nehe Kabbalah. And please sit down. And we're going to read Psalm 92, a psalm to sing for the Shabbat day. And we're not singing it because I'm not very good at the beginning of it. Is there anybody else who can? 100, hang on, just wait for 124. Okay, off we go then. Off we go, Ruth. Tov lahadot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי גיום בחינו, כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. And we will continue, I think, to read in English on verse 6. God, how great are your works! Your thoughts are so very deep. The stupid do not know this, nor can the foolish understand that when the wicked flourish, they are only like grass, and when all who do evil spring up, their end is always destruction. Only you are exalted forever eternal. For see your enemies, God. See how your enemies shall perish. All who do evil shall scatter. But you exalted my strength like an ox, anointed me with fresh oil. My eyes saw the fate of my enemies, and those who rose up to harm me, my ears have heard their end. And now back to the Hebrew. Tzadikatama yifrach ke'erez bavanon yizke shetulim baveit Adonai b'chazrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun b'seva d'shenim v'ra'ana nimyehu lahagid ki yasha Adonai tzuri v'lo avlatabo. And that is now the end of our introductory songs and psalms, and we're now moving into the Shema and its blessings, and that begins on page 127, and we're going to stand for the call to community prayer. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach leolam va'ed. Please sit down. And we're now on page 128. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvidvuna mashenei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umasader et hakochavim b'mishmoroteihem barakir kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei hoshech, v'hoshech mipnei or, hama'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai Tzevaot Shmo, Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim, and page 129. With everlasting love have you loved your people, the family of Israel. Teaching and practice, duty and justice, these you have taught us. Therefore, our God and guide, we think upon all this before we sleep and when we wake, and rejoice and delight in your teaching and its practice for ever and ever. For they are our life and the measure of our days. We keep them in mind both day and night. Never take your love away from us. Blessed are you, God, who loves your people Israel. And now on page 130, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. 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 Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha, ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. And page 132, we'll read in silence. And on page 134. The Eternal said to Moses, "Speak to the children of Israel and tell them that each generation shall put tzitzit on the corner of their clothes and put a blue thread on the corner tzitzit. Then, when this tzitzit catches your eye, you will remember all the commands of the Eternal and do them. Then you will no longer wander after the desires of your heart and your eyes, which led you to lust. Lema'an tizkeru, va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kadoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihyot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem." And on page 135. All this is true and firmly held by us, that you are our living God and no other exists, and that we are Israel, your people. You perform great deeds beyond research, too wonderful to tell. Your children saw your power, praised and thanked your name, and willingly accepted your rule over them. With great joy, Miriam and Moses and the children of Israel answered you in song, all of them saying, Mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, neda, ba'kodesh, nora tehilot, o seifele. Our living God, your children saw your rule over the sea of reeds. All of them as one honoured you as sovereign, saying, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. And it is prophesied, for the Almighty has set Jacob free and rescued him from a hand stronger than his own. Blessed are you, God, who rescues Israel. On page 136. Source of our life and our sovereign, cause us to lie down in peace and rise again to enjoy life. Spread over us the covering of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Be a shield about us, turning away every enemy, disease, violence, hunger and sorrow. Remove the temptation that awaits us and the guilt that lies behind us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are a God who guards and protects us, a ruler of mercy and compassion. Guard us when we go out and when we come in, to enjoy life and peace both now and forever, and spread over us the shelter of your peace. Blessed are you, God, spreading the shelter of peace over us, over your people Israel, and over all the world. And now on page 137 we will sing this. V'shamru v'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam, beini uvein b'nei Israel, ot hi leolam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz, Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash. Now don't get up just yet. Just putting this here. We're about to come to the Amidah, which is a standing prayer, and I thought I would read, or actually some of you would read the reflections on the first three paragraphs of the Amidah, which is on page 339. Julian, would you like to come and read the first one? Avot.
Reflections on the Amidah, Shabbat and daily. We speak of the God of our ancestors, remembering how each of them had to discover in their generation the place of the divine in their lives. They inherited names and qualities of God, great, mighty and awesome, but tested them against their own experience and understanding. Some things they took on trust, but maintained the right to question and to doubt. We too both affirm and question as we seek meaning and purpose in our lives. May we do so with the same integrity as generations past, we who bless and are blessed. Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Orakei Shara.
The next one is on page 340, Ruth. You can read from my book if you like. It's the second paragraph of the Amidah.
Our life is subject to forces beyond our control. Our death is seldom ours to determine. We wonder what rules our lives. Is it fate or chance or the will of the divine? What exists before life or beyond death are mysteries. We address through faith or speculation, with hesitation or hope. Yet in this lifetime, to support the fallen, to heal the sick, to loose the bound. These are part of our calling, to act if all depended on us. May we accept this power and this responsibility, we who bless and are blessed. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayi hametim.
Thank you. And the third paragraph is on holiness, Kedushat Hashem.
Kedushat Hashem, holiness. At the limits of our understanding, holiness, Kedusha, speaks of the vastness and complexity of the universe we inhabit. We personalize the forces within it, guided by our human perception and imagination. Yet our minds constantly venture beyond. We extend our knowledge and creativity into farthest and innermost space. May we always be in wonder and awe before the known and the unknown worlds, about us and within us, we who bless and are blessed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh.
And now we turn back to the paragraphs of the Amidah with those insights. And we stand and we turn to page 140. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'Elohei imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim Konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Goel Lifnei V'neihem L'ma'an Shmo Ba'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Poked Sarah. And the next page. Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayei Meitim Ata Rav L'Hoshia, Mashiv Haruach Umorid Hagashem, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Meitim Barachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishnei Afar, Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, umi dome lach, melech meimit u'mechayei u'matzmiach Yoshua, v'ne'aman ata lahachayot meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hametim. Paragraph 1 on the next page. Ata kadosh, u'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha sela, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Page 144. You made the seventh day holy to your name as the end of the creation of heaven and earth. You blessed it above all other days and made it holier above all other times. And so it is written in your Torah. Vayechulu hashamayim va'aretz v'chol tzaba'am vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi'i v'lachto asher asa Vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa. Vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'kadesh oto. Ki vo shavat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest be pleasing to you. Make us holy by doing your commands, and let us share in the work of your Torah. Make us content with your goodness, and let our souls know the joy of your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your love and goodwill, let us inherit your holy Shabbat, and may all Israel who seek holiness find in it their rest. Blessed are you, God, who makes the Shabbat holy. Our living God, be pleased with your people Israel, and listen to their prayers. In your great mercy, delight in us, so that your presence may rest upon Zion. Our eyes look forward to your return to Zion in mercy. Blessed are you, God, ever restoring your presence to Zion. We're on page 147. Modi manachnu lach, she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avoteinu, le'olam va'ed. Tzurenu tzurchayenu u'magen yishenu, ata hu l'dor v'ador. Nodeh lecha u'nesaper tehilatecha, al chayenu hamsurim beyadecha. Ve'al nishmoteinu hapkudot lach, ve'al nisecha shebachol yom imanu, ve'al niflotecha v'tavotecha, shebachol eit erev v'voker v'tzoraim. Hatov kilu chalu rachamecha, amrachem kilu tamu chasadecha, ki me'olam kivinu lach. Next page. V'al kulam yitbarach v'yitromem v'yitnaseh v'tamid shemcha malkeinu le'olam va'ed. V'chol hachayim yoducha sela. V'halilu v'varechu et shemcha hagadol be'emet. Ha'el yeshuatenu ve'ezratenu sela. Baruch ata Adonai, hatov shemcha u'lecha na'eh lehodot. And we're still on page 148, the last blessing. Set true peace upon your people Israel forever, for you are the source of all peace, and in your eyes it is good to bless your people Israel at every time and in every hour with your peace. Blessed are you, God, blessing your people Israel with peace. Please sit down. And the last paragraph on page 149 of the top paragraph, if you see what I mean. May the words of our mouths and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable to you, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. And let's all sing together. Oseh Shalom, which is the last blessing in Hebrew, the last paragraph. Oseh Shalom bimrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel, ve'imru, imru, amen. Oseh Shalom, hu ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel, hu ya'aseh shalom, hu ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'al kol ha'olam ve'imru amen. I'm not going to deliver a sermon. I don't know if Julian or Ruth would like to do. Have you got a sermon prepared? Sorry? 8 hours to go.
Could we have an hour a day? If
You
you want.
know, we're not going to. Do you want to do it? No, okay. Julian does very good sermons. Not tonight. Okay. Then we're on page 310. The Aleinu. These are the concluding prayers, and we stand for the Aleinu, please. 310. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tet gdola li'oseh bereshit, asher bacha banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato, ve'anachnu kori'im, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Shehu notei shamayim v'yosed aretz, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרמים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. And can we please turn to page 347 for our second paragraph of the Aleinu, written by Judy Chicago. And if you went to her exhibition, you will see her drawings associated with these sentiments. We look to the future with hope. So many dreams, please read with me, so many dreams have faded in the accusing light of day. So many visions of better times have turned into nightmares and blood. We have been disappointed too often, and yet still we hope. We hope for transformation, for societies where prejudice and superstition, fear and unrest give way to fullness of life and the humble recognition of our common humanity. We are in this together. We need each other, and we need to affirm our hope. For goodness is real, and justice is possible, and life on earth can be enhanced by those filled with an awareness of the eternal and a knowledge of their own transience. We are guests passing through. With patience, resilience, and courage, we can leave this world a little better for our having been here. This is our hope. This is our security. In the light of eternity, we have a significance we cannot measure. Moment by moment, we build God's kingdom. Our world is in the process of being repaired through us and within us. This is our redemption. We look to the future with hope, and then all that has divided us will merge, and then compassion will be wedded to power, and then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind, and then both men and women will be gentle, and then both women and men will be strong, and then no person will be subject to another's will, and then all will be rich and free and varied, and then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many, and then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old, and then all will nourish the young, and then all will cherish life's creatures, and then all will live in harmony with one another and the earth, and then everywhere will be called Eden once again. Please stay standing. On page 315. The souls of the righteous are in the hands of God, and no harm shall come to them. God, source of compassion, you give life in which joys and sorrows are mingled, and send death with his promise of eternal peace. We mourn this week the deaths of Hilary Clift, friend of Vivian and Ed Spevok; Ian Reed, friend of Vivian and Ed Spevok; Angela Applebaum, sister-in-law of Paula Ahrens; Andrea Leela Brown, mother of Stara Blonstein, sister to Vivian Seymour and Shirley Adelson, and grandmother to Sonny and his wife Angelina; Penny Feinstein, mother of Alice and grandmother of Emma Windus; Eugenia, Jenny, Leonard, mother of Vivian, mother-in-law of David, grandmother of Andrew and Sophie; Patricia Mary Hurst, mother of Martin Hurst. May you comfort their families and all who mourn for them. May God, who is full of compassion, whose presence is over us, cover them in the shelter of your wings forever, and bind their souls into the gathering of life. We remember at this time all those who once shared with us the joys and challenges of life, but who are with us no longer. May their souls shine like the brightness of the heavens. We thank you for all you gave them during their lives. We think especially of those who died at this time in years past. John Bernadotte, father of Joy Childs, grandfather of Saul and Naomi. Heather Rose, mother of Candida Silverstone. Edgard Arroyo, father of Paulo Arroyo. Rose Shepping, mother of Anthony Shepping. Ludwig Spiro, father of Anthony Spiro. Ronald Levine, brother of Janet Falouche. Doris Moritz, mother of Claire Kirby. Martin Glynn, father of Malcolm Glynn. Gladys Spain, grandmother of Liat Hurst, mother of Alison Spain. Alan Ioff, father of Maureen Friedman. Are there any other names that people would like to mention? Zichronam livracha. May the memory of their love and guidance be a source of enduring blessing. In loving memory, we sanctify your name and say on page 316, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabah, ba'amad yivrach yehutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dichol Beit Israel, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabah mevarach le'alam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'hishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'tada v'tale v'talel shmei dikudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, de'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imrumav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. And please sit down. We haven't got any announcements, have we? Except next Saturday. I think everybody knows about Saturday week.
Just to watch the announcements because they'll come through in the...
Just please take notice of announcements which will be coming through in emails. And WhatsApp messages, if you're on the WhatsApp group. Anything else? Next Kahila will be on your doorstep or in your inbox. Better, even so, better still. Or in WhatsApp. God, we're modern. We're modern. I don't think there's anything you can find out about next week in Zoom. Okay. So, are we going to try and do Yigdal on page 318? Or would you prefer, I don't know... Which one are we going to try? I'm not very good at either of them. Which one would you prefer? Yigdal? Imchai verse... Can I just say it's on page 318? Just telling him it's on page 318. I do. I was just telling our friend here that it's on page 318. Off we go again. Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yishtabach nimsa v'yenet el metziuto echad v'yen yachid k'yichudo ne'lam v'gaman sof le'achduto en lo temut haguf ve'eno guf lo na'eroch elav kedushato kadmon l'chol davar asher nivra rishon ren reshit l'reshito hino adon olam l'chol nohotzar yoreh gedulato umalchuto shefa nevuato netano Elashe skulato b'tif'ato lo kam b'Yisrael k'Moshe od navi uma'abid el temunato Torah emet natan le'amo el al yad navio ne'man beito lo yachalifa el v'lo yamidato le'olamim Lezulato Sofer v'yodea satarenu mabit l'sof daba b'kadmuto gomer l'hishasid kamehefalo oten rashara kirishato yishlach l'keitz yamim mashiachenu lifto machai keitz yeshuato Meitim Yachael Barov Chasto Baruch Adei Shem Tehilato. And can we please turn to page 324 and stand, and we'll read this blessing together, saying us instead of you. May God bless us with all that is good, and guard us from all that is harmful. May God enlighten our hearts with the wisdom of life and give us understanding of many worlds. May God in faithful love offer us enduring peace. And Shabbat Shalom, everybody.